So why do you think, with all the facts that I have provided to Walmart, that they would boldly ignore all of this truth? Is it because they have done it for so long until they now feel comfortable in treating your mother, father, sister, brother, and children in this disgraceful manner? Maybe that's, do you think maybe that's why? So little did I know, the clerks up front at Walmart store 2615 saw me in the back down the hallway and said, "You the one that wrote that, typed that letter, and is spreading, that needed to be done. It only made sense." And I became a somewhat underground hero in that regard. Now my question is, did that contribute to me being terminated some years later for inability to perform job? I'm going to each one of my disciplinaries that I received, and I want you to judge. You also can go to kbci.blogspot.com and find most of my rebuttal letters that I've sent to Walmart, 29 of them. During my first year, that's 2005, I was employed in January. I went through it, all this is in my records. Once I found out that there was a lot of unprofessionalism at Walmart, I started keeping memo for records, and I kept memo for records all through the over 3 years that I was employed there. I found gun chokes was not priced. I did it. Brim busters was not being priced. I did it. And I don't mean this in addition to, because nobody told me to do this. My military training gets kicked in, and I'm trying to build a better department among unprofessional people, ones who was getting at least $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. Fishing reels would fall on customers. It was falling when I got there, falling on the customers. So I came up with an idea to run wire through the reels, down all the aisles, and it completely stopped the falling of reels, which could possibly cause Walmart money. Now, the gun barrels, on all guns, long guns that is, I worked in sporting goods, so we sold guns. This is what the deal was. They had a firearm resting in the yoke of metal. So I watched, I studied, and round the barrels would be damaged. Some of them had to reduce the price. So I came up with putting Velcro around every 16 or 18 guns, approximately 36 in both cabinets, and putting Velcro double stacked. It kept the barrels from being damaged, metal to metal contact. I went to my department manager, Jody, told her about it, and I implemented that at Walmart store 2615. I told my managers and store manager Hal that this something that had a broader reach at Walmart stores that could save Walmart money. But did they care? No. And so as I would go to the other store 899, I would go to Atlanta, I would stop in Macon, and I would see long guns being damaged. But nobody seemed to care. I called the resource manager, told them, in fact, the district manager, I don't remember his name, told them nobody seems to care. The military didn't teach me that type of management skills. I just did not receive it. And so I became puzzled. So anyway, I went on, and maybe that contributed to my inability to perform job. Also, so we must ask, was it somebody, and this is what happened at Walmart. Please understand that these videos was cut, some of them over 3 years ago. And so I got to interject here that it's amazing because when I left, they had a room at the store. I was terminated because I was an outstanding manager. That I was taking long guns or something along the lines there. And it was later determined that there was an assistant manager. I could call his name, but I'm not going to call his name. And I just found this out about 5 months ago that they terminated a manager that left there, and he was stealing and taking long guns. And so I even questioned the fact that when they would not sell those guns and wouldn't put them out for the general public, was the store officials waiting to those guns be reduced in price so low, and then they would call their friends to come purchase them guns. And I sought to stop that, and it seemed like that contributed to me being terminated.
under the heading of inability to perform jobs. Sorry about that. Listen, please.
Layaway procedures. There were no layaway procedures down in the layaway department. One day, Sister Manager Steve and one of the workers got in a disagreement, and I came up with the idea to fix that. Maybe that contributed to my inability to perform job. Firearms in the gun room was discounted, and the customer didn't know that discounted guns was back there. So I went and priced them all, put them on a sheet of paper like this so the customers could see item for item. All those guns, all those guns was reduced in price, but the customers had no way of identifying those guns. So what did I do? I did this, put it on the counter. Guns began to sell from the back room. Store manager Hal came out and took it off, said it didn't look good. And so that forced me to wonder if somebody wasn't saving those guns for their friends to purchase. Just maybe, I'm not saying. But because to me, I wanted to sell the guns to make money for the company. Maybe that contributed to my inability to perform job years later. The golf clubs were unpriced. Nobody would clean that. I did that. And all this I put in my record. I made sure, and I'm going to skip right along. There's over 30, 40 some items that I made in my first year that nobody else would do, that I know saved Walmart money, made things easier to process long guns. But who cared? No one. So maybe by me coming up with all these ideas, it contributed to my inability to perform job. And I have written 29 letters to Walmart Stores Incorporated and presidents, and I have not received even a courteous reply with a valid date and signature. Yet they told me when I was receiving.
And now it's over 68 letters and about 400 to 600 videos, and they still believe that they are a God beside God and that they do not have to answer to the American shoppers, the mothers, the fathers, the sisters, the brothers, the active duty, retired military veteran, disabled veterans. That's their belief. Once again, I got over 600 videos, and we're going to repost all of them because you have a right to know the truth.
Training as a subordinate or an associate before I came department manager, that there was an open door policy. I'm here to tell you there is no open door policy. It's a door that looks like it's open, but when you run into it, when you get in trouble, I will assure you it's plexiglass and you can hurt yourself. Next time we want to go into the processing and showing how some people get special treatment and don't even have to obey the managers nor the supervisors or department managers, and they are the ones who seem to go off to help in other stores. Those are the ones that get promotion. Those are the ones that moves up. The ones who can think outside of the box of incarceration and indoctrination, they are treated like workers in China or in some other third world nation. And then they'll terminate you and say, inability to perform job. Although the 29-page requirement that Walmart designed themselves, nothing is initial off. They cannot produce where I was ever entered in this training or received this training. That they cannot do. And they refuse to even answer one question that I asked them.
Now, don't you think that any company, especially the largest retail giant in America, don't you think that they owe your mother, your father, your sister, brother, or your neighbor down the street who are now serving in Afghanistan or who served in Iraq, Pakistan, Vietnam? Don't you think that those active duty and retired and disabled veterans and the children of those veterans, don't you think that Walmart, listen, don't you think that Walmart CEOs owe them a courteous reply? This is why it hit me so deep, because I have heard the pain of the American people. I've heard their pain. And then, after they send a letter and after they call and play the game of Walmart, all Walmart says to them indirectly is that, don't you know? Can't you understand that we are a God beside God, and you don't question us, we don't have to give you an answer. So after nearly 6 years, this God-like policy is still in effect. Listen, please. Myself, I have these dolls that represent both black and white are being treated the same way. And we as Americans must stop sitting down and let people take advantage of us and our family members, our loved ones, and our neighbors as if though it doesn't matter to us. It's time for a change, y'all. It's time for a change. Tomorrow or next month, part 2. George Boston Rhymes, kvci.blogspot.com. And now it's Boston G.B.R. on YouTube. I started out on the blog, but after I found out that Walmart cared little to nothing about responding to their workers, not in China, not in Russia, not in Afghanistan or Pakistan, but in the United States of America, it seems as if though Walmart has become a God beside God. And not only will they not answer to me, they won't even answer to you, and apparently not even to God. St. John 8:32 says, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." Now I have said to Walmart, and I will close out by saying this. All I ask Walmart to do, America, all I have ever asked Walmart to do, America, is to show me one little line. One line, not a signature block, but just one line of where they entered me into their own documented, proven training program designed for all Walmart sporting goods department managers in the United States of America and perhaps around the world. I said if Mike Duke, if President McCullough, or Scott, or Nelson, or any of those, or the board of directors would just show me one little line where I initial. If they would just tell me who was assigned my trainer as department manager, that I would publicly apologize and tell the world that I have lied on Walmart presidents and that I've made wrong statements against the board of directors and that I need to help clear the name, and I will fight and help Walmart clear their name from what I've put out here. But that, my fellow human beings, Walmart cannot do. Because I have proven, and I'm going to prove further, I have 598 other videos that I intend to send and repost so the American people and the world will know that what Jesus spoke is alive and well at this dispensation, and that everybody have not fallen asleep, nor are they under the spell of the Leviathan. Thank you, America. Thank you for caring about your mother and fathers and sisters and brothers. Thank you for not just letting the American people go down the drain where they have zero workers' rights here in the state of Georgia, and at will to work state thanks to our Georgia legislation, who can put a law in place where you can be fired for good cause, bad cause, or for no cause at all. And the EEOC, like over in Southwestern University at Rosalind Carter, a center over there, got blacks over there working in disgraceful, inhumane conditions, and it makes those people under so much stress they got to go to the doctor, and then when they go to the doctor for workers' compensation, they're still treated like dirt. The truth must be told so the lies can be exposed. I'm George Boston Rhymes in Valdosta, Georgia. Somebody in our world must care about somebody outside of themselves. Peace be unto you. Catch me up on YouTube and go to the playlist of Walmart. You only seen what I've already posted, but we just can't let our fellow Americans fight these wars and then return home to this? No.